Navi and Zibe, you can't Doom Crystallize anymore. When you think about it, he has the Titan Sliver and the Halberd. Like, he has so much status resistance that Doom doesn't really last long enough for it to do anything in these team fights. Overall, that was really, really greedy from 5-man, the way they engaged.
They took the tier 3 and backed, right? Did Creeps take that full lane of barracks at bottom during that fight? Like, I know it was pushing in, but like...
They did. It wasn't only Creeps. Well, it was only Creeps, but one of those Creeps was Enchanted.
Oh, okay.
There was that as well.
Yeah.
But, you take a team fight, but you just lost your side. Oh, that doesn't feel great.
Yeah.
I think you're happy that you still took that fight. I think it's good for your morale coming into the late game as well, and coming into these rush fights that are about to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it proves that you can actually win a team fight. Big part of that was being able to stall out the Doom, right? TB was able to, like, he spent a good amount of Doom time already, and then those last few seconds, he was given the Oracle Ultimate. The Doom faded away. He was able to get off Sunder. That second life meant that he was able to stand toe-to-toe with the Medusa and actually beat her out.
The question now comes, do you still Doom the TB, or do you switch your priorities? Because Doom, if you don't Doom the TB, he'll still dish out so much damage that you'll have to retreat.
Yeah.
Fight this is you try to toss him closer to you, and then you just swarm on top of him.
That has been the winning situation for 5-men in all these fights, is that Chassis has been able to get that nice toss back on the TB after the Doom. Another thing is they could probably do a better job trying to hunt down Ilias. I think that's maybe what Misery was looking for there. They do have the dust to be able to reveal, as poor Enchantress just dies on the low ground. And now
that Medusa spirit as well, hitting so hard because of the TB. You know, this what you said is that you mentioned. Yeah, you want Jesse to jump in and toss a target back. Let's just see this.
If he didn't move very slightly there, he would have gotten shackled. Crystallize actually goes up the hill here, but a buyback coming out from the Enchantress, and Navi start retreating. You could see Ace doesn't really take that much damage, stands pretty tall here, and still has the Stone Gaze to work with. So Navi, this is really bad, because now their meta's going to be on cooldown as Roche comes up.
Yeah, it's up in 20 seconds. This was really bad for them when you think about it. You committed the meta without getting the single kill. Well, Enchantress died before and you forced the buyback, but now Roshan is free game for 5-man. You need to fight around it somehow.
TB, I mean, especially Scotty versus Scotty, right? It's going to look, your TB in melee form is going to look so bad against a Medusa in a team fight compared to that range form.
So I was about to flame the tiny build a little bit because he went for the antagonist.
Yeah.
Zibe. So Agnes is really good here, don't get me wrong, but it makes you play a little bit differently. You don't have a BKB, so you're not really jumping in and tossing a target back. You're staying back and trying to utilize the full potential of that axe, right? And because of that, they're playing differently as a team. However, it's working out, so who cares?
No, I think that's a really good point. Like, you do change your playstyle, and that previous playstyle was working really easy for you. AoE damage is going to come in, though. Crystallize, take it a bit. They do manage to get the Doom off on him. Ilias is behind this TB, though, so they should be perfectly fine. They can kind of reset 60 seconds and still until meta. Roshan is up, and it makes me kind of wonder here, what is going to be the results of this? They don't have meta,
but they don't have Doom as well.
They don't have Doom. Are you willing to take a melee versus melee TB fight against the Medusa over this Roshan?
I think it's easy for 5-man to just put the Medusa inside with Enchantress, right? And they can hit Roche and just answer the aggression from Navi, but it looks like they're just gonna run.
Yeah, they're gonna chill for now, Navi. You want to see inside this pit to make sure that, like you said, that the Enchantress and Medusa aren't taking it down by themselves. Beginning to get some damage on a Chessie, so this Aghanim's build will look a little bit better. when it comes to the DPS output. Butterfly complete for the Medusa. Always a really big power spike in this matchup because TB.
Yeah, you don't want that MKB, do you?
No, you don't want to build MKB, so you're going to feel kind of bad about that. I almost wonder if he's at some point going to have to consider just a straight up Divine Rapier.
He actually queued up MKB. Did he? I think he queued up MKB on TB after he saw that Butterfly complete.
Yeah,
there it is. I wouldn't mind him just completing the Daedalus as well, but yeah, you need that MKB definitely.
He's doing a good job right now, constantly throwing illusions to the bottom lane to keep those super creeps from threatening the tier 4s.
It's annoying though. It's so annoying to have to deal with that lane, and considering you didn't even fight to defend it, well, you did, but the creeps got it in the end.
TB, the meta's up, and they just waltz right in and fight.
Are they going to react to this?
I mean, they may react, but it may be too slow. Chet, he's going to chuck the ring in there. They see it now, but Roshan, it's almost dead. They got to get inside the pit fast if we want to stop this. Yagan Inception is going to rain some damage in, but they actually do manage to get the kill onto Roshan there. But obviously, the important thing, the agent's picked up, and Zibe's already taken so much damage from the rupture. He doesn't have doom for another 12 seconds. The Shivas goes out, and the Ember Spirit's dead. Even if they have the agents, all the other cores on the side are dead, and Zibe, he just walks away. He has the Stone Gate up, crystallized, couldn't finish him off. He's gonna get off the Sunder, and yeah, he's got plenty of lives to work with, but you can see 5 men. Instead, they just took down the other cores and left the TB by himself.
Hey, they bought back the Ember as well.
Yeah.
Ember bought back for that. For what? Why?
I think he thought that 5 men was gonna like keep going. He was like, oh god, I mean, we need to take this fight.
Yeah, I can respect that because they still have had Doom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they could possibly pursue, even with Doom being so low, you still could go for a hunt. But it's so hard when you're playing Drow, Medusa, TB kind of drafts. Who's got the high ground really benefits so much, because it's so difficult for TB to stay on the low ground and hit anyone there because you don't have vision, if nothing else. Let's not talk about the mischance.
Yeah.
And the Doom, Zibe just surviving for such a long time. He's such a beast. You can't take him down. 2.6k HP, Shivas, Halberd, BKB. If you go on him, you have to commit everything. It's that part of the game.
Yep, Ace from the low ground is just going to be able to take that tier 3. And while they do have a DD on Crystallize, Enchant can easily take that away from you, and you still have the problem of you are a melee hero against the Medusa. And, hell, I mean, not just the Medusa, but even Chessie here in this back line checking into trees. Like, that's going to be another slow you're going to have to worry about, as you can see.
The moment he bought that Agonist, I don't think he initiated a single fight afterward.
Yeah.
His playstyle just is completely different now. He's sitting in the back and just tossing those trees at you. I think this game, it really comes down to where you take your fights. Like, that's so important for both of these teams.
Tier 4 items are out. Both teams going to retreat to their side of the map and try and quickly farm them up. I mean, you almost have level 25 on the Medusa. There is a monster power spike. What is it, 1,000 mana, right?
Yep.
The other one is the modifier. Mm-hmm. So, which is really good with Scotty.
800 mana.
800 mana, right.
Got hit by the percent nerfs.
Yeah.
Who took the spell prism on the side of Navi, I wonder? When it comes to these neutral items, some of them are really big. Okay, Young G is carrying the spell prism. The leveler, obviously, on the Medusa on the other side.
They have their MKB. They want to go for Ace here. Look at that instant Manta going out. Misery jumping in. Stole the Blood Rage here, but looks like he's going to be caught by Crystallize. The Glimmer Cape's not going to be in time to save him. Ace already taken a decent amount of damage. The Doom goes off onto the Ember Spirit here and jump in from Jesse. Makes the initiation on a Crystallize. Didn't have enough burst damage to really threaten him here. Zibe's just going to walk through this, take the rupture damage, and you can see Jesse kind of covering his tracks there. But that was the first showing of this MKB from the TB, And you could see Medusa was taking some serious damage there.
They're still facing this problem on the side of 5-man that they use the Doom, but there's no follow-up afterwards. I think the biggest issue in that fight was that Rubik died. And the playstyle that Tiny is playing at the moment doesn't really complement this Doom jumping in and dooming anyone.
Yeah.
You don't have any cash, you don't have anyone to follow you up and contain target in a spot.
Then again, at the same time, Navi, I don't think they got nearly enough done with that. They had Aegis, they had Meta, and they thought to themselves, we got to do something. And OGC, they're like, I don't know if I'm really going to take this team fight. Keep my Stone Gaze in my back pocket here. We're now going to run at your base. And what are you going to do about it?
And they will have a Satanic as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's also pretty big. It's a game such as this one, at this point, is all about these first initiations and where you take your fights, where you choose to fight. It's so easy for 5-men to park their truck in front of your base, put this ace even on the low ground, and he can take your Raxes and towers.
Okay.
Satanic, yeah, completed.
Did buy have that Satanic. I almost think they're not going to go high ground because he doesn't have buyback anymore. But honestly, like, I'm not sure exactly what Navi would do if Ace just went high ground in that top lane and started hitting the melee barracks, and they don't have meta for the TB. But at this point, it seems like 5-men, they're kind of like, what they've been showing us for the last 15 minutes is they're okay with the state of the game. They feel very confident. They don't really need to make moves, it seems like. They are saying, we're good. We're just going to keep getting bigger over time here. We're comfortable in going late game against you guys, and we will naturally wait for a better advantage.
That's big as well. Crystallizes Daedalus, I think, just got assassinated in that courier.
Oh no.
So the courier was flying with the recipe. He won't have that recipe even if he buys Demon Edge. Yeah,
BKB for chess ace, so he might feel a little bit more comfortable getting in there with the initiation than getting back out. He also has the Minotaur horn there as well.
And like you said, I don't think 5-men are that worried.
Yeah.
They have still room to grow. Yeah, you're playing versus a TB, but you have this Tiny as well that can finish off a couple of more items, and then suddenly that 3 toss that he's using in every fight is going to wipe your team.
Yeah, and this is why, earlier I kind of referred to it as a single core lineup. Is most of this is going to be off the back of the TB. December Spirit and Bloodseeker just aren't going to scale quite as well. And like, hell, even Doom, right? You can get himself an Aghanim Scepter, which is a really big late game item, especially with your level 25 talent. And Rubik, once again, Misery's going to be first one in and first one out of a team fight. They do manage to get the Rupture on his Zibe, which, again, they're just trying to retreat to the high ground, it looks like. Ace, holding on to the Stone Gaze, keeps thinking about it, finally going to pop it. And Navi quickly disengaged. So, okay, we cannot fight into Stone Gaze. We got that out of him. We still have some meta to work with here. I wonder if, like, what are they going to do with this timing? Are they just going to keep farming?
They can't really do anything, can they? They can perhaps take over a little piece of the map that has been taken from them. The Dire Jungle, they can ward it up. They can prepare for the next Roshan, perhaps take that outpost. But that's it. You can't really pressure the last 2 remaining tier 2s or the high ground.
It's funny how, like, both teams, I think Navi 100% loses every team fight. They try and go high ground against 5-men, even if some abilities are used or whatever, because of buybacks, right? 100% they lose that fight. 5-men, I think that's another thing that's making them skittish about going high ground themselves is we can take them 5-on-5. Can we take them 5-on-5 on a low ground against buybacks, so it could be 5v10 for all we know,
Yeah, that's always a problem, pushing high ground and how you take it. You need a couple of pickoffs probably, or at least take that Aegis and Cheese that's coming up in 1 minute and a half. I think that's the play now. If you're Medusa, even though you have MKB, you wait for that rush, you buy the Rapier at the same time, or you buy the items and then you lock them.
Hit that critical mass period time, Chessie. Again, getting hit by the Rupture, tossing away the illusion to save himself some grief. But other than that, Misery jumping forward, steals win run, but they weren't able to get enough to disable to really catch Immersion. He slides away back to the base successfully. Roshan up in 50 seconds, so 5-men, they're not going high ground. If they weren't going to do it before, they should absolutely not do it right now.
Yeah, this is the worst. Yeah, this is the worst timing to go for high ground. Like, even if you get the pick off, it's such a bait. It's possible that it works out well, don't get me wrong, but the chance of them buying back, wiping you, and then taking Roche are extremely high at this point in the game. Satanic also queued up by the Terrorblade. Aghanim is by Ember Spirit, but he's very far away from it.
Catch him on the high ground. He was trying to deward, I think. An Immersion leads a little bit more damage. Oracle saves him just in the nick of time. Is Immersion going to receive enough heals? Looks like it probably is, but Ace is just going to continue pushing forward here. Taking down these TB illusions. The Blood Rites going out on both sides, with the Rubik stealing one of them. And Ace, Heaven's Halberd, gets rid of it pretty quickly there thanks to the Satanic, raining down some damage, trying to go for the initiation on the Doom there. Crystallize, giving a brief reprieve. Chessie kind of stuck out here. The Avalanche goes out. Telekinesis pull back. This TB, he's a little bit low. The Link is trying to protect him. He gets off the Sunder just before the Doom can go out. TB, though, on a second life, instantly gets blown up by Ace. It wasn't close at all. There was just way too much damage. Zibe finds the extra kill onto Ilias, and now Navi. They've used the meta, and they're still going to be forced into a buyback. I don't think 5 men, the Roshan threat, like the threat of losing a fight and losing Roshan, I don't think that's very real anymore.
Yeah, that's a buyback without the meta. So how much will he be able to do? I'm not really sure here. He had to buy back, don't get me wrong. You need to try and defend your last 2 Raxes.
Telekinesis catch. Pull back in with that Scotty. Zibe with the follow-up stun there from the Centaur stun. Suntear going out, Manta. And retreat. Can they actually pursue here? It's going to be up to the Ember Spirit to try and keep them from running away too far, but ultimately...
Yeah. They scouted it just now with the courier, they go back. I actually thought that when they moved into that high ground fight, and when meta was popped, I thought they might even disengage. Okay guys, we popped meta, Roche is about to spawn, let's just go take it and then slowly finish off the game. But that takes a lot of discipline, and it's difficult to disengage from Navi at that point.
Sure.
So they stood and fought, and they fought well. Yeah. Oracle not having that ulti really hurt Navi's chances, because if you are playing the single core like we're harping on about, you need to save that false promise for him, not no matter how deep and how far he's been caught out.
You just want to deny the range creep. Don't try and save it. Don't heal it.
Exactly.
It's not worth it. Flex is getting so much fun out of this game. He's watching a support Wind Ranger who tanked away an Oracle ultimate that is all important for a TB. I understand exactly why Ilias did it. You know, you're just in like the split second decision-making mode where you're just like, you see a low health hero, you throw it out there, but ultimately, like, what was Immersion able to do with that extra life?
Nothing. He had to run back.
Yeah.
If he lands some 6 shackle, then we're not talking this way. We're not talking about.
Speaking of 6 shackles, that is a free kill on a pylon die with very low commitment. With the telekinesis is going to put this TV up on the high ground here. That's a bit troublesome. So look at him, he's getting wiped apart. Sunder and the Oracle ultimate both going off, and he rips into the tiny. But can he deal with this damn Medusa, the permanent threat that is constantly there? Immersion does manage to get that nice shackle shot onto the Doom. They're trying to deal with some of the side lanes, but Ace gets the Stone Gaze hit onto the Ember Spirit. He got stuck in place, and as soon as that happens to any of these cores, they're gone.
Yeah, wrap it up, boys. TB does not have a buyback. Your Medusa is ready to go uphill. He doesn't even have boots. He's 7 slotted at the moment. They won't even go for Rush, it looked like. There is a buyback on Ember, which we'll have to use, obviously. But what can an Ember do in this situation? Not a lot, I'm afraid.
So here it is. Ace. The big tank that he is. It's the big turtle.
Can we say that ranged creep baited them in going on Enchantress?
Yeah, I mean, because then they got the telekinesis that pulled the TB up on the high ground, right? It would have been a nice clean kill, but really good play by Misery to be able to pull him back, and that is just going to be them running down the tier 4s, and without TB, again, they were kind of very much all in on Shackle shot there. He hits the shackle!
And Enchantress is dead!
Oh my god!
Yeah.
But they'll remember that. Immersion will remember that 6 shackle he hit.
I think it's sad. I think he'd be happier if he didn't even hit that one. And it's like, okay, I just had the worst game. It can't get any worse than this.
Yeah. Throne will die, no matter how much Navi try and stop it here. The Stone Gaze, they can't even get that close to the Medusa. And in the end, took 51 minutes, but Slow and Steady does win the race for 5 men. Not bad at all.
Not bad, 51 minutes. I haven't seen a longer game in the Divine League or Immortal.
$1,500 gold. He actually is going to go straight into the pipe here, opting to tank up even more.
Rolling boulder from Zep misses again, but there's the Invest Bomb, and this time Ohio's in trouble. Roar will come out, they have the Magnetize, they get off the silence as well, and Ohio will get right-click down. The Exorcism will go from Mushi, doing a decent amount of damage to that Aggressive. The Borslow comes through, he has no Infest, he has the Armlet Toggle, needs to be careful, the Spirit Type coming out, the Glimpse back onto Aggressive, gets him back in there. They get the Grave off in time though, the Open Wounds will come through, they have the Kinetic Shield. There's the Black Hole, from the low ground, on to 3! Step as well as M1 are gonna get chewed down. 3 dead. Mushi gets a double kill. DJ, are you kidding me? From the low ground.
DJ, God, the crowd here just goes insane as he hits the black hole of his life. And
Likely could just give this one up. The vision advantage with the Hawk does help. But nope, they're ready. They've actually got a smoke. They can bypass the Hawk with this, but
there's no way they take this in time. Fnatic need to get out. Mushi is going to be stunned by the Boulder Smash. They're going to come through. Showed looking for a Ravage. Can't find it. Mushi pops the BKB early. Aggressive blinks in. Pops the Rage as well. Still has his BKB ready to go. They really want to contest this and take it down as quickly as possible. They get the refresher for Ohio. It's coming out. Double Roar is ready. Can they find a kill off of this? Maybe he's walking up with the Silver Edge. Ohio's going to get caught first. Ravage catches onto 2. Black Hole counter initiation. Static Storm on top. Aggressive is low. They get up to Static Storm. Shower pops the refresher. Not enough. Maybe it's getting chewed through by mid 1. They get up the Roar. They'll lose 2. They'll lose 3. They buy back on the Tide. He's got another Ravage. They have no buyback on Maybe. What an initiation from DJ.
Secures another kill, and Tongfu is going to continue to push. They're not done. Mech still hasn't even been used. There's a hook. Howl brought all the way back to the base. Cleaned up by the Fountain. And waddles his way back to the front lines.
Well, like I said, it does waste time, but they kind of need it. I mean, they need to be able to just eliminate somebody from the fight, very similar to what Mu can do for Tongfu. So if he had been a little bit farther up, he would have been able to throw the hook, but the thing is there was a range creep in the way. And there it is, yep.
Banana going for a ride on the Dindy Express. Welcome to the well. He just goes to Tongfu. And now charging back out. Dindy going to be spotted, and he gets, no, he doomed the Chen. That's a much better choice. Oh, he got him. He got him. Not going to follow it all the way because we got a battle to watch with Puppy. Trying to get away from it, going to be telekinesed back. And they will be able to get him as well. There you so a 1-for-1 trade. And wow, Hal is still alive down there. Engagement breakout as Kuro. Oh, there we go. The hook, got him. Zhan Xing taking the long ride to Shanghai. Welcome home. Navi is down. Can you say Mega Creeps? Navi, he got him! One more! This is what you call one for the road!
Man, I can't.
The game for IG. Who leads the way? I believe it should be Zoe. They're gonna cut for the shorter path. They storm up the river. Patience from Zoe. Waiting in the wings. Navi's about to be caught. Oh, there's the sleep. The surge. He catches everyone. Oh, this could be a total disaster. Vacuum in. Ravage on everyone. The black hole as well. Light of heaven turns it around. Ravage as well. Stolen by Dendy. Are you kidding me? They turn it around. 4 Chuan's dead for
5
IG.
arrows dead. Chuan trying to survive. Chuan's gonna go down. Puppy talked about the Naga counter. It's Light of Heaven with his BKB. They turn it around. I don't even know how they're gonna do it. Standing ovation from the crowd. The last tower will be going down.
Start the fight with that global and just try to blow up and get on top of that Zeus right away. Get into that backline. I mean, the Rubik and the Zeus are really starting to be quite an issue for them.
Chalice is in with the opener, straight in with the lasso. The tower will fall, but they'll drag back the Ember Spirit into the torrent, cut him down with the Tidebringer. He's dead once, but on the side, they find Arme. Arme's dead for 60. Still alive at the moment, and all the use! The dodge! Anna up into the end, dodging the Echo Slam. Somnus, he's trapped here in the Sprout. OG, they'll slowly punch down the Kunkka. The Stolen Finch and Jerax sets up onto FY. OG!
So this PL will continue just to BT split push this game out, get more and more money, and that for me is still the biggest problem for Evil Geniuses. Where do you go with this? Fear needs to have that damage dealing item, but in order to do so, he's got to drop either his TP scroll or sell the Ring of Aquila. And Samel, Blink, Dragon Tail stun. Garda's going to be here with the hookshot as well. They're going to bite Samel. The Cogs Burn bought them a little bit of extra time, and with Samel down and no buyback, Roshan is a very, very juicy target here for CDEC.
Yeah, EG are going to know they're going for it though. First of all, it would be pretty obvious from the lane situation, but they also have a good ward around the river area to see that CDEC are moving in there now. I don't think EG are interested in contesting this 4-on-5, but maybe they can delay it long enough for it to be a 5-on-5 if they Ice Blast and Fissure properly. There is no hook shot.
They're all together. PPD, here comes the Ice Blast, ready for the dodge! In from Universe! Into the disaster! CDEC! They're gonna get wiped from the face of the earth, apart from aggressive. He'll jump out, but the wombo combo perfectly hits from Evil Geniuses, and now they will take Roshan. Samel is back, they'll get the egg into the Immortal. OG right behind Arme, gets the jump, finds the Pugner. Vision will not find the stun. Pugner with no buyback. OG, they were really playing with fire. The Hex down the Terrorblade. Spectral Haunt looking for the frontline attack, but that's why Somnus goes into the backline. The BKB, they're into the backline. Shaker, he's bouncing around. Hawk shot, she stuns on the way through. ES is gone. No buybacks available. Have LGD done it? They're holding Anna. Hold him in place. Chalice will find the damage. F5 will die for it. No, really? Anna is actually running away, but it won't stop Arme from blinking up, looking for the tier 3 tower. 2 players left alive for OG. They're the big ones, however. Thompson and Anna on the defense duty. Fortification. It's delayed as much as they possibly can. And now the jump out. Hex, the boy in the bubble. Thompson able to be protected once again. Chalice very, very low on mana. They have a lot, but Arme, he'll change the life with Anna. Thompson needs to be pushed away. Able to do so. FY jumps onto the illusion only, so the hookshot won't be able to connect. But Anna, he needs to retreat. There's so much damage. Anna down. Buyback is available. They still have not taken the mid racks. OG are just trying to delay LGD for the moment. 5 heroes around. The bubble is there protecting the melee racks. Anna, Sunder! Once again, the Sunder switches to life. Arme's back up to full health, but the damage from Thompson, it's good enough to kill off the bait. Buyback is there. Somnus leads forward. They just keep bunching them around, but they're still battling from inside the bubble. Pugner will come to the world living LGD. They're going for the GG push. They're going up the tier 4 towers. OG, they have to hold the line. They have the numbers. 7 from the side with a Dagon Arme, but no! Thunder is back up. It is there. Chalice will fall. They lose the Enchantress. FY pushing around Anna. He's so low. Can they get the dieback on him? You bet your Nelly they can. Arme still very, very low. The blast will kill him off. But buyback. LGD want this now. LGD, or can they? Backing up? No, they're not. Terrorblade. BT's forward. The ball is up. Thompson needs to defend. X-Nova very visible. You've got a very, very low life Mirana. But OG, they can't find the target. X-Nova, he's got the grip. He's got the control. He's got the kill. Thompson is down, but ES is up. Where the Echo Slam. Oh, there it is. Forward. There's your slam. There's the dunk. There's the play. Jirax, the savior of OG.
1500 gold. He actually is going to go straight into the pipe here. Look, opting to tank up even more.
Rolling boulder from Sep misses again, but there's the best bomb, and this time Ohio's in trouble. Roar will come out, they have the magnetize, they get off the silence as well, and Ohio will get right-click down. The exorcism will go from Mushi, doing a decent amount of damage to that aggressive. The Borislow comes through, he has no infest, He has the armless toggle, needs to be careful. The Spirit Siphon coming out. The Glimpse back onto aggressive, gets him back in there. They get the Grave off in time though. The open wounds will come through. They have the kinetic shield. There's the black hole. From the low ground. On to 3. Seconds lost and one are going to get chewed down. 3 dead. Mushi gets a double kill. DJ, are you kidding me? From the low ground.
DJ, God, the crowd here just goes insane as he hits the black hole of his life. And
Likely could just give this one up. The vision advantage with the Hawk does help. But nope, they're ready. They've actually got a smoke. They can bypass the Hawk with this, but
there's no way they take this in time. Fnatic need to get out. Mushi is going to be stunned by the Boulder Smash. They're going to come through. Showit looking for Ravage. Can't find it. Mushi pops the BKB early. Aggressive blinks in. Pops the Rage as well. Still has his BKB ready to go. They really want to contest this and take it down as quickly as possible. They get the refresher for Ohio. It's coming out. Double Roar is ready. Can they find a kill off of this? Maybe he's walking up with the Silver Edge. Ohio's going to get caught first. Ravage catches onto 2. Black Hole counter initiation. Static Storm on top. Aggressive is low. They get up to Static Storm. Showit pops the refresher. It's not enough. Maybe he's getting chewed through by mid 1. They get up the Roar. They'll lose 2. They'll lose 3. They buy back on the Tide. He's got another Ravage. They have no buyback on Maybe. What an initiation from DJ.
Secures another kill, and Tongfu is going to continue to push. They're not done. Mech still hasn't even been used. There's a hook. Howl brought all the way back to the base. Cleaned up by the fountain, and waddles his way back to the front lines.
Well, like I said, it does waste time, but they kind of need it. I mean, they need to be able to just eliminate somebody from the fight, very similar to what Mu can do for Tongfu. So if he had been a little bit farther up, he would have been able to throw the hook, but the thing is there was a range creep in the way. And there it is, yep.
Banana going for a ride on the Dindy Express. Welcome to the well. Aegis goes to Tongfu. And now charging back out. Dindy going to be spotted, and he doomed to Chen. That's a much better choice. Oh, he got him. He got him. Not going to follow it all the way because we got a battle to watch with Puppy. Trying to get away from it. Going to be telekinesis back. And they will be able to get him as well. There you so a 1-for-1 trade. And wow, Hal is still alive down there. Engagement breakout as Kuro. Oh, there we go. The hook. Got him. Zhan Xing taking the long ride to Shanghai. Welcome home. Navi is down. Can you say Mega Creeps? Navi, he got him! One more! This is what you call one for the road!
Man, I can't.
The game for IG. Who leads the way? I believe it should be Zoe. They're going to cut for the shorter path. They storm up the river. Patience from Zoe. Waiting in the wings. Navi's about to be caught. Oh, there's the sleep. The surge. He catches everyone. Oh, this could be a total disaster. Vacuum in. Ravage on everyone. The black hole as well. Light of heaven. Turns it around. Ravage as well. Stolen by Dandy. Are you kidding me? They turn it around. 4 heroes dead.
5 heroes dead. Chuan trying to survive. Chuan's gonna go down. Puppy talked about the Naga counter. It's Light of Heaven with his BKB. They turn it around. I don't even know how they're gonna do it. Standing ovation from the crowd. The last tower will be going down.
Start the fight with that global and just try to blow up and get on top of that Zeus right away. Get into that backline. I mean, the Rubik and the Zeus are really starting to be quite an issue for them.
Chalice is in with the opener, straight in with the lasso. The tower will fall, but they'll drag back the Ember Spirit into the torrent, cut him down with the Tidebringer. He's dead, but on the side. They find Arme. Arme's dead for 60. Still alive at the moment. Oh, the use! The dodge! Anna up into the end, dodging the Echo Slam. Somnus, he's trapped here in the Sprout. OG, they'll slowly punch down the Kuka. The stolen Vision Jerax sets up onto FY. OG!
But this PL will continue just to BT split push this game out. Get more and more money. And that, for me, is still the biggest problem for Evil Geniuses. Where do you go with this? Fear needs to have that damage-dealing item. But in order to do so, he's got to drop either his TP scroll or sell the Ring of Aquila. And Sumail, blink, Dragon Tail stun. Garda's going to be here with the hookshot as well. Laguna bites Sumail. The Colts burn bought them a little bit of extra time. And with Sumail down and no buyback, Roshan is a very, very juicy target here for CDEC.
Yeah, EG are going to know they're going for it, though. First of all, it would be pretty obvious from the lane situation, but they also have a good ward around the river area to see. CDC are moving in there now. I don't think EG are interested in contesting this 4-on-5, but maybe they can delay it long enough for it to be a 5-on-5 if they Ice Blast and Fissure properly. There is no
doesn't
shot.
actually bear fruit. I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be like team secret. They only showed it publicly as the first team, but we also heard that Seb was playing offlane Bloodseeker. Someone else, you know, might have played it, and they just were not playing. They did not have a chance to show it. And this is what happens, you know. Pro players, the tier 1 players, they're playing in pubs. They see someone doing some crazy stuff. Yeah, well, let's try that in Scrim. Let's see what happens when we play against a real team. Try stuff out. And then you have this idea, you mold it, and you turn it into something good.
Yeah. And then you add the human element in, right?
And
something can be right.
Error occurs.
Yeah. You know, these people aren't robots. Right? If you had a robot playing Bloodseeker, dude, I can't stop thinking about that. I said it as a joke, but now I'm like sitting here actually thinking about it.
You could be a robot.
You could be a robot. Like any of us.
Have you ever had an injury that showed your human blood or bone?
Oh, don't hit me with the unbreakable.
I'm just
Have you ever had a cold?
Have you ever?
That train wreck was awful suspicious. No, but there's that moment where yes, I do have like a lot of physical pain. but I've never had.
I guess it's better than emotional pain, right?
I've never had like one very dramatic injury, but you know, you start thinking about these little things where it's like, when are robots going to replace us in simple tasks? They can already replace our faces. They can already replace our voices. They can already replace our thoughts. There's just one safe haven, one place that the robots have not invaded yet. Alexa, please stop listening. She already stopped. There's one place that is safe from the robots, and that is the Dota Draft Pantheon.
Oh my God.
Not yet invaded by the robot metallic fingers reaching, grasping for more and more territory to claim as their own, to turn us into batteries, and we
5G signal cannot penetrate this fortress.
This is a pantheon made out of Shungite.
The Shungite Pantheon. That's the stone that you see, and you will be safe here. We do not believe in vaccinating our builders. It lays on a flat earth.
No,
you are safe.
We got a Phoenix up in Mila Casa. How do we feel about the Phoenix?
Phoenix has traditionally been doing very well in the tournament so far. We've seen it paired up with some old classics like the OG classic back when Fly was on that team of the Tree and Protector sometimes pokes out too. But also I see it paired up with Void a lot, and it's doing quite well, both with and against. I mean, it's just a great hero for putting up damage. However, I'm starting to think that the Phoenix is becoming understood a little bit more, you know? You first pick a Phoenix, you say, okay, this is a damage lineup, here we go. And doing something like an Oracle, who has got so much saves, to me, it gives you a lot more options. How do you feel about it?
Just by looking at these 2 drafts so far, 100% I would lean on 5-man. Having Tiny, which is one of the strongest heroes right now, who you always have good base defense. If they're sieging tier 3 towers, you have a guaranteed lockdown. You have a hero that can move around the map, do stuff. You have a burst damage. You have a way of protect the egg. And Phoenix overall just feels like a
Dire's turn to bat.
more
Radiant's turn to bat. Seconds. 5 Dire's turns to ban. Dire's turn to pick.
Like, you can always tell who's played with Fog recently on the panel, but I do want to hear a little bit more about that as we see the Storm alongside it now. Well, why do you think that the ET is undervalued?
Because I won and lost all the games when I played against him. Like, every single time I had ET on my team, I just won. Now, overall, I think this hero can be played as an offlaner. I've seen some high-level clubs as well, where pro players are trying to, you know, innovate with stuff. And it looked extremely good, and he just smells the late game carries. He's insanely good. He's a hero that's good at every stage of the game, late game machine, where all your armor is gone, and he gets a Dragon Scepter or a BKB at one point, and he can get on top of you. This is the issue that he had, and with the new Aghanim Scepter, it's a pretty legit build.
Let's go meta for a second. You want to know why ET is actually really, really good? It's because of how you can equate damage when he's there and when he's not. Now, Dota is a game of mistakes, and it's about overextending and stuff. Imagine you're carry on the enemy team. You just kill 4 guys. ET wasn't there, and you took a lot of damage, right? In the next fight, if ET is there, it's very subtle when you're under his effects, and then suddenly in this fight you melt, and it's crazy. And those kind of things can be really impactful for late game scenarios where a carry feels strong. Guys, let's go in. I'm good. I just won the last 2 fights, but ET does stuff correctly in the late game, and all of a sudden, holy shit, we're all dead. And those kind of surprises are really the meta way of why I think that hero's super strong.
Makes you feel super safe, baits you into making mistakes.
Imagine being a knight without armor. That's what it feels like.
I feel like that all the time. I only have a sword.
Oh, what have you done? What have you done?
McQueen! There she is again, Wind Ranger.
All right,
back it up, boys.
No, this is a very different game already. I mean, they have a lot more lockdown.
I think 5 men might be preparing for, okay, our coordinate is banned out, so there's still Medusa in the pool. This is also a great save coming out from Venge. You want to have a range hero that benefits from your aura, some kind of edgy range hero possibility to get there, but yeah, they just get Medusa.
Why stop it? It worked so well last time, and this time, who's really going to stand up to Dusa? I mean, that was one of our biggest problems last time. Who's got the burst damage to take down Dusa right now?
Now that I have ET.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's the one who's going to remove her armor. They have a mobile hero, Storm Spirit. I mean, they had the Ember in the previous one. Kind of a same hero, to be honest. But this 5 men, when they group up and go 5 men strong, this lineup looks extremely scary. You have great ways of protecting the egg. Medusa.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. I just feel like Medusa is such a strong hero right now.
Sure.
So they should ban out AM, which they did, and they ban out TB. So they still feel like TB was kind of an issue in the last game.
How do you kill that egg in this game, right? You run towards it, Deuce a split shot, and you have Venge is ready to swap you, Tiny's ready to stun you. It's going to be tough. But then again, another way to deal with Phoenix, you just don't kill the egg. Everyone just walks away and then reinitiate. So they really don't have that much lockdown. They got a few nice stuns, but no biggies.
So I gotta say, this goes all the way back to the Phoenix, right when it gets locked in at the beginning of this game. So you bring up a very good point, which I feel like is one of the things that we have talked about quite a bit, and that is the idea of whether or not the Phoenix is starting to become solved by play. And we've had plenty of time with Phoenix. Obviously, some small changes come out when we do have the patch, but how often does this happen where you feel like there's here where it's like, yeah, you've had plenty of time to solve it, but it still seems super busted in pretty much every game, even if it's not like right out all the way broken, but it just feels like the right pick in pretty much every scenario.
That's what Ice Frog's for, baby. You know, keep getting first picked, and then Daddy brings down the hammer. Sometimes a hero's just too good in the meta, like how Spectre used to be, and how Darkseer used to be, and they're just first pick, and then you're like, okay, shit, it's one of these. Hey, a puck comes out. That's interesting.
Oh, that's the hero that kind of ruins Wind Ranger and the Storm Spirit. You want a hero that gets on top of Oracle.
There you go. Again. Always. And it is different. Puck, great synergy too with the Phoenix. We were talking about we could use a kind of big AoE team lockdown. Coil can be very good against that as well. I mean, I really think this is a super solid draft from 5 men personally. They got to come up with some real damage source here on Navi.
You have AoE ability from Puck that, just keeps them in place while Medusa deals the damage. And that's exactly what they needed. I also seen 5 men running Puck in multiple roles, but still feel like they could just go with the standard stuff, put Tiny on a mid, get him levels. They can also swap things around. Like, everything's pretty flexible. They're just going to wait to see what the last pick is. And this needs to be like some hyper carry that matches up against Medusa. A lot of those carries already gone. No Drow Ranger, no AM, no TB, Arc Warden gone. Like, they have this could be a Slark or once again like a Phantom Lancer game, and I don't put too much trust into these two carries. I just don't see a hero for Navi right now that's gonna be like, yeah, this is it, this is the pick.
Yeah, they need a. I mean, Sven is still available. He's been picked up as like your big boy. I mean, Troll is available, but these are heroes.
Troll, I think Troll might be the answer here.
I mean, he, naturally hits stuff pretty quick. He can build a defusal against Spectre. I mean, excuse me, against Doozy. And you know what? Honestly, if Storm starts snowballing, they've got some pretty squishers out there that Storm can jump on and do pretty good. But they're gonna go for Sven over the Troll. So there you go. Okay, that's okay. I'd rather have a defusal builder against Medusa, but if he gets the right initiation and with especially with ET at his back, he could, two-shot a lot of these guys. So. Good work.
The odds have swung in favor of Navi on EGB.com.
Navi!
Keep that in mind. Definitely an interesting thing to see. You mentioned the fact that Storm might be able to tear apart some of the squishier heroes like Soft Bread, but what's Sven going to be able to do in this lineup?
They needed some kind of tower damage because they had none, and Sven allows them to play fast and have a carry, that comes online faster than Medusa. He just naturally farms faster, but I still don't think it's enough. Late game, if they don't end this game by 35-40 minute mark, 5-man is just gonna take over.
Yeah, and Oracle's great for, in that last game, Oracle was really good because you put all this pressure into killing TB. He's almost dead, and then he's saved, and he gets to use Thunder. This time, the longer time is spent, the more chances you got Phoenix Egg to go off and shit like that. So it's tough.
It definitely seems like 5-man was able to string together a pretty solid draft this round.
The other team picked Wind Ranger, for Christ's sakes. I mean, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
Pick any hero. You'll do it. You'll win.
5 men versus 4 heroes.
Yes. Disgusting. But you bias aside, I mean, I don't have to apologize because I'm right, so it's all good. They will win the game.
All right, you heard it from Slacks. Let's jump into the action. Game number 2. Keep in mind, this is an elimination series. 5 men can close it out here. And with what we saw draft, 5 men are looking good.
That's right. You don't have to apologize if you're right. That's what Slacks says, and that's why you'll never hear the two of us ever apologize for anything. Right, Lizard?
Never.
That's right. We're going to be heading into game 2, where once again, we're going to have Navi versus Medusa. And did they do a better job countering the Medusa, Lizard? Because it seems our analysts think they did a worse job countering the Medusa than last time.
Well, they have some different combos running here, right? Pasha will be playing the Wind Ranger actually, so not only will that range creep be played again by Navi, it will be on the position 3 off-lane position, so they even promoted it. They were immersion. The problem is, you just didn't have enough farm. Let's give him some more.
In some ways, I actually agree with that, in the fact that a 4-position Wind Ranger becomes a shackle bot, right? Mm-hmm. A core Wind Ranger can actually put out some damage, and focus fire becomes a real threat. So I can agree with that. Slacks would prefer a 5-position Wind Ranger, of course. Less farm on this hero, the better.
Look at him. He's going for double null as well early on. Will help you with the damage in the laning stage. And like you said, remember when MKB got initially buffed? Every game had Wind Ranger.
Yeah.
Every single game in pubs had Wind Ranger rushing that MKB and just dominating the game. And yeah, I agree completely. If you find your items early enough, this Wind Ranger can become your solo pick-off potential hero. Just find anyone and kill him in that shackle shot. The problem is still, though, Navi, they're on a timer. You are playing versus this sick combo of Medusa plus Phoenix. That's scary to play into.
Yeah. Medusa plus Phoenix, Vengeful Spirit plus Medusa. That's another really good combo.
Puck and Phoenix as well. Puck and Medusa. The synergies never stop on the side of 5 men.
Yeah, 5 men did a really good job building around their Medusa for this lineup. I think their lineup looks so scary. And we actually saw Navi manage to beat an Anti-Mage with their Medusa. Mm-hmm. And that didn't work. We just saw it beat a TB. Now I see it up against Sven, which I don't think is better than a TB in the individual matchup. And I also am not convinced that Sven's going to be super good in this game either, because of one very important thing. I think that Evil Geniuses showed how to deal with core Sven when you get an Aghanim Scepter, and that's Blink Daggers.
Blink Daggers, and if you don't have Blink Daggers, when you look at 5 men, they have some heroes as well that can work versus it. You have this Venge with the swap, you have Puck with Phase Shift. That's definitely what I said. And
listen, just be glad you made that slip up when you're casting Navi versus 5 men and not some other team. That could land you in a bad clip territory.
Yeah, I've been able to dodge that for now, but eventually I'm afraid everyone gets it.
Yeah. I don't know.
You can't stay away from that one. Overall, what Sven has got going for him in this game, you have that Oracle that will be helping you out versus Phoenix in the lane. It's pretty good to purge all the Fire Spirits, if nothing else, and all of his dot damage. Obviously, you have the ET with the minus armor. That's going to be very strong for you. When you get on top of these targets, ET will help you out, and you come online a little bit faster than the TB. So that's kind of cute, but besides that, I still value this Medusa quite a lot for 5 men.
So what are the good parts about Navi's lineup?
I was just trying to name them.
sorry. Going up into like, what is? I meant more. What is their mid-game plan, sort of deal?
Okay, so this Storm could potentially have a decent game. You are playing versus a Puck, right? But you should be able to get on top of, let's say, this Phoenix and Medusa early on. So you will have those rotations, and your reliable disables are a little bit easier to execute this time around than in that last game. So you will be able to jump on top of Ace and keep him contained. Even if he uses his ulti, then you can follow up with Immersion, with the Earth Split, obviously, which can come in handy, and the Echo Stomp as well. So
it definitely feels like a lineup where they're going to be able to play a lot more mobile, and that is one way to deal with the Medusa, right? Ignore her and go for everybody else, essentially.
The thing is, though, this lineup of 5 men is, in my eyes, it's just so well-rounded. It's so strong. Even if you do go on one target, you have the save, you have the swap from Vengeful, and then you have the counter initiation either by the Puck or the Phoenix or the Tiny or the Medusa ulti. I'm biased towards their draft, definitely.
Yeah. Zibe diving away. Oh, caught the Storm Spirit. That's going to be your first blood. Misery, he's been roaming back and forth from top to mid quite a lot, but he finally found his opening to be able to not only get a kill, but also secure the power rune here for Puck. So that's going to be pretty important. Doesn't have his bottle yet, but still is important to be able to grab that. Yeah, maybe Misery's not going to stick around at all. He's like, whatever.
Surprised that Puck didn't. Okay, he went back. He's going to go and take that rune, most certainly. Actually missed. One lasted, he got the other one, so it's fine. You just don't want to give it to Storm, right? That's the biggest thing. You don't have a bottle, you won't benefit a whole lot out of it, but you don't want to give Storm a DD or something similar that lets him get back into the lane. The Phoenix with the 4 branches Tranquils.
Let's say both times they've done pretty well in lane against the Medusa. You could see reflected in the CS board, the Wind Ranger's getting really good free farm, and the Medusa not quite up there next to the Sven when it comes to CS.
Yeah, Medusa Vengeful isn't really the strongest lane in the game.
Yeah.
And if Elder Titan finds a couple of stacks, if he makes a couple of stacks and then he comes in with that Astral Spirit, he can really go deep into them. He can deal that damage. Right now he has plus 73, but is unable to actually use it.
Fighting over the hard camp. Pasha does a good job of sniping most of that CS. Ace got very little with his Mystic Snake.
I'm just looking forward at this game, and I'm hoping that Pasha, I'm a little bit biased towards 5-man's draft, but I'm a little bit biased towards Wind Ranger just because I want to see Slacks cry. That's all. I just want to see this hero finally take a win.
Oh, Young G, he's still not level 6 and will be found by Misery, but it looks like the Puck was a little bit too far away to capitalize off of that. He's finally here, but he's like, okay, this is fine. Not worth playing for anymore.
Yeah.
So.
What level is Tiny when he initiated there? What is he 4? I think so. 3. Yeah, that's a little bit greedy.
Yeah, especially since Young G, I think, has raindrops.
Yeah.
Ilias can't help him here, and meanwhile, Ace actually dies at the bottom lane. Immersion manages to get that kill. 6-minute power runes. Chessie trying to take him away. Ilias does snipe away that arcane rune, but dies as a result.
This duo is really strong. Your Tiny plus Puck can blow up any single target on the map right now, as long as they're together. The problem with Tiny going for Storm in the previous occasion is that Puck wasn't near enough. And he had to use that Illusory Orb just to get close to deal any follow-up damage. Look at Immersion.
Just hammer him down. You always love like an Elder Titan plus a ranged offlaner that can get aggressive. You know, that lane is always so scary, even if it's up against another ranged hero.
I just love Elder Titan. I could watch 5 Elder Titans play this game and I would be satisfied on one team. Just give them enough stacks.
There is an event coming up.
Looking forward to the first round. I know.
2-2. 7 minutes in, Pylai die, gotta be focus fire. There we see the core Ranger down. Pick off on a 5 position. Nothing major, but still, pressure is pressure.
Pressure is pressure, especially when it's on Wind Ranger, as he's gonna get more farm there, and the pressure will be even bigger pressure, right?
It's like that Lacoste quote, you know, when it's time to call it, it's time to call it. But we are
Is this a Wind Ranger game?
Is this a Wind Ranger game? I don't know. But it could be a Pasha game. I mean, he's set up for success, right? He's got a good laning phase. He's having a good start. He's top net worth right now. They're going to lose their mid tower again.
So early on.
Yeah.
7 minutes 45 seconds without a fight. Navi, that has an Elder Titan on their side, loses a tower.
As a result, Chessie, he can just shove in this wave if he wants to, freely rotate to side lanes or play into neutral stacks if he wants to. There's a lot more opportunities. The jungle's going to be a lot less guarded.
It's also what this Tiny can do now, right? Like this Tiny's game is completely free. Chessie can just follow him up on any single one of these aggressive moves that he's about to be doing.
Can we see the camp stacked here for Navi as we take a quick look at the odds? But every single time I see neutral camp around here, it's been stacked up, and that is something that 5 men also noticed. And also going to take advantage of. They take away this triple hard camp stack, which is really big. Got a neutral item out of it as well. But if they lose their puck, it may not be worth it. Jumps away to the silence here, tries to dodge a little bit more. He's got an orb, but can't jump down to low ground fast enough.
Yeah. He used a lot of those spells, right, to clear the camp. Because of that, he doesn't have the Illusory Orb on time, and they get him. Still, if you're 5 men, I don't think you're too sad. You did lose the puck, but you took, what, a triple stack?
Yeah.
Hard camp, and I believe medium camp was also stacked maybe once.
I have no doubt a triple stack is worth more golden experience total than just a puck kill.
And it's also slowing down the Sven, right? That's your big idea. That's your big move here. If you're Navi, your Storm has already been shut down in the lane. He's the lowest net worth core at the moment. Sven is on top of the network cores, on top of anyone, that is, and slowing him down from that Midas is really important. If he is going for that Midas, I would assume so, yeah.
I feel like he's got to he needs that farming item to be able to keep up or actually stay ahead, rather, of the Medusa, right? Experience also really important in this game.
Misery.
Oh, trying to sneak on by, but he's caught.
This should be a tier 1 as well for Navi, and that's where this Sven does come into play. Even though he doesn't have his Midas, he realizes, okay, I actually need to start making moves on the map. And I don't think that this is in particular to the hero. This is, I believe, more in particular to the state of the game, in which your Storm has been shut down. You need to make some space for him. That's why you're using God's Strength to pressure towers and not to farm Ancients. You have to react like that to most of your games and play accordingly.
Nice invasion there from Chessie. Gets 3 bounty runes for 5 men. And meanwhile, top lane, they were trying to pressure that tower a bit, but Pasha positions himself to defend it, so they're going to try and keep that safe lane tower advantage that they currently hold.
Okay. The problem is you do have all your ultis on the side of 5 men. Well, the important ones, Phoenix and Puck. So defending this tower might be difficult. I actually love what Zibe is doing on his Phoenix. I believe that's a Yule's build. First, yeah, it is. This is like when you're playing versus Storm and you don't go for Yule's first as a Phoenix, you're just asking for trouble.
Yeah.
You just go for that Yule's and you'll most certainly be able to use that tag before you die. But if you don't, if you go for a Veil or whatever else,
you go for the Meteor Hammer build and then the Yule Scepter, well, you may get caught and killed a number of times by the Storm Spirit. So
this, on the other hand, won't give you the damage that's necessary later on, right? Like not later on, right now, but it will allow you to 100% use your spells. And I have to shout out Zibe for going double into dive. I think most players that are playing Phoenix right now are wrong for leaving level 1 dive. I just can't understand it. It's
10 damage to 30 damage, right?
It's triples.
yeah, it's really good. No, I'm 100% with you on that one. They have the level 6 on Pylite Die, and they soon have a Blink Dagger on Chessie. So we're going to see that cute combo. It's only cute if it's on your side, of course. If it's on the enemy side, it sucks. But coil into swap, breaking the coil.
Coil or egg into coil, or coil into egg into swap. I just love seeing this. The synergy on 5 men. It's easy to read, and maybe that makes it easy to play around as well. But when it works, it's just enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. Ace doesn't have the Stone Gaze, so he's going to be found here farming up the hard camp, and he doesn't have a defensive option here. Pylite Die might be able to swap him out here, but he doesn't try. Instead, he goes for the stun, but misses that. The Phoenix going to be able to dive over these heroes. There goes the coil, and the Phoenix going to pop the Supernova now. The Storm Spirit still has the mana to work with. As the coil fades away, it gets a nice long jump out. Supernova explodes thanks to Pylite Die swapping Immersion back into that AoE, and they do manage to get the 2 supports, but they missed out on that core kill set.
If they did get that Storm, I believe that's a fair trade. Like this, I would still say that it's a little bit better for Navi and Young G because they forced an egg out, they didn't lose their Storm, and they got the Medusa. And all they lost were 2 supports, so I think you're fine with that.
Yeah, I totally agree. 2 supports for the primary carry of 5 men. Put a bunch of abilities on cooldown. Crystallize is just farming up this entire time while the Medusa is spending time in the graveyard.
That's only one bad thing off of all of that, right? Jesse did get a lot of net worth, and now he has that Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
He's activated. 13 minutes in, he can do his moves on the map.
Together, going to run around with Misery. They're just going to be kill combo, and this is going to be sad part of Wind Ranger as a core. You are really squishy. You're a glass cannon, and the magic damage.
Is that the creep that died there? It was so fast I couldn't see.
And now, like, he started off, he was top net worth at some point in time during the laning phase, right? Now he is almost last in cores, only being beaten out by Young G, who is the very last in the net worth line of cores. So once again, Navi funneling all their net worth onto one hero alone. That is Crystallizes Sven. Long jump in. Does have the Yule Scepter to work with here, but can't get it off in time. Misery does manage to get his Blink initiation on a Young G. The coil makes sure that Storm Spirit's not going anywhere, and the silence stopped Ilias from being able to get off his ultimate for a while. He finally uses it onto Immersion, but Immersion is taking not taking too much damage, but there's certainly too much chase coming up from 5 men.
That was almost so bad if he survived, because if you noticed, they used the swap on him, but it was from one end of the Dream Pool to the other. So they didn't break it, actually. But overall, 5 men, now they don't even use that egg, and they kill Storm and they kill Elder Titan. This time around, it's a much better trade for them. The coil has been utilized, but if you're Navi, you're not happy because your Storm that's supposed to be having a little bit better of a game is having anything but.
My question is, how did Misery get this Blink Dagger so quick?
Yeah. That right? We didn't mention, because the first initiation with the Puck Blink was also the first initiation with the Tinies.
Yeah.
It's killing Storm, I guess.
Yeah, like he had that one successful rotation, and then he was part of some other kills. They got that tower. Yeah, It was just a combination of like being around for hero kills and then these early tower kills do a lot for supports.
Yeah. Look, he's going to have that veil already, so well, not already, but in like what, 300 gold.
Yeah,
that opens up different possibilities for this Puck to go for as well. He doesn't have to get it. He can get Yules or any defensive item before Storm gets that Orchid. Yules is the build-up, so it's really good for them. Overall, I love the Veil because it benefits their team quite a bit. The Puck, the Phoenix, they synergize not only with heroes but with the item builds that they're going for.
Now, we only lightly touched on it during the cast, but we're talking about it backstage. Misery really likes being able to play these aggressive style initiators that just kind of go in from a support position. He tried to utilize that as Rubik and several times died, but here looks a lot better on the Tiny, though they did miss out on that kill on Pasha.
I love how he stopped there as if to scratch his hat, you know, like, hey, what happened?
Where could he have gone? There's the Orchid complete for...
You remember we were talking about that offlane hero that will be the extra burst damage for Navi. Well, he's going for Greaves.
Okay.
Wind Ranger with Greaves.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this trend of like these more damage heavy offlaners that still go the utility items. Like, I guess I just always view Dota in a way that like when a hero provides a certain amount of strength and weaknesses, I prefer to go more in on the strengths.
Yeah, just
rather than cover my weaknesses.
Yeah, I see.
Coil going out. Catching the Elder Titan, just trying to go for this fast execution, but he's not dying very quickly. Eventually, oh, look at that Misery going to the back line, catching Ilias. Does manage to get off his ultimate. Young G trying to go for the initiation onto the Phoenix here, but his self-fuel scepter frees him up a little bit. Zibet wants to be able to get these fire spirits onto everybody before he pops Supernova, but maybe it's a little bit too early, but the swap comes in. That bails him out. Zibe, he still has an opportunity here to pop it. And needs to go for it soon because Crystallize the monster here. He doesn't want to position himself too close. Nice Yule Scepter there. Is that going to be enough? Another hit comes in from Crystallize with the Echo Saber. He finishes it off, but now Ace is here to get the kill on a Crystallize. It'll be massive if they do get it. A dominating streak going over to Ace.
Yeah, that hit with the Echo Saber pretty much made sure that they get the egg, but Ace gets a big kill in the end on Crystallize. And I can't blame Zibe for not using that egg earlier in the fight because he had opportunities. But the problem is, if you use it that early, they just disengage.
Yep.
You didn't have coil, and then you're wasting that egg. They'll run away and re-engage afterwards. So I can't blame him for waiting the last second, and it ended all right for them. They did get that Sven in the end.
Yeah, it definitely was one of those weird fights where he's like, there are no disables around to help me, so my positioning has to be perfect. Not too far away that they just easily disengage, but also not too close that they're able to just focus me down with no punishment. And as you said, it was not a bad one. It ended up forcing the Sven to commit. Yeah, got the kill on him as a result.
It was a nice attempt. Overall, the egg has been buffed up. Oh, Coil, we hear it, mid lane.
Yeah, they managed to catch the Wind Ranger here. A core kill. This is probably even better than that one. The Elder Titan tried to go for the swap back of the Coil, but the Coil was already gone by that point. Still got the kill, and that's what's important.
Can they get anything after this? They're diving mid a little bit further, perhaps pressuring this tier 2. Yeah, this game does not look that great for Navi at the moment. You have the Storm with the Orchid, and your Sven is on top of the network charge, that is, but it just feels that 5 men are doing what they want to be doing and they feel in control. Maybe it will change with the BKB from Sven.
Oh, absolutely. With all this magic damage from 5 men, he could just shrug it off pretty easily.
Look at the odds, they're still in Navi's favor. Interesting. Elder Titan with the drums and just a casual cloak. Maybe he'll turn it to a Glimmer, but just a casual cloak is so much value right now. On position 5, Glimmer Cape is a no-brainer. You get any game and you won't be wrong.
Sure.
But just a casual cloak on anyone else is also pretty solid.
Yeah, these 4 position strength heroes, it feels really value. 450 gold for the cloak just is such a cheap cost. It's kind of like, why not? Gonna go for an early MKB here on Ace after the Manta that he picked up. So no Scotty focus this time around, which that'll help him deal with the Wind Ranger and the possibility of Heaven's Halberds coming up in the future, which I believe is something I'd like to see out the Titan build. I always feel good when I have a Heaven's Halberd coming from one of my supports.
Mm-hmm. And it's overall a decent item on him, right? An older Titan. It's something that you can buy and not feel bad about.
Honestly, Sanj is just such a value item right now.
Puck going for that Aghanim's. Can't really blame him for that. It's an amazing item overall, but in this game even more so. You can deal with the Sven, with the Storm easily. BKB also picked up, well, not picked up, but queued up by Storm Spirit, and it's so early. Orchid straight into that BKB. They're just realizing, okay, the only way we take these fights is if we actually get magic immune.
That's where 5 men, their whole combination is pretty much predicated on the fact that, like, a bunch of magic damage, the BKB is going to ruin a lot of that until they have the Aghanim Scepter on, like, higher level swap. Then that's still a combo that can successfully work.
Sven, after that BKB as well, going for straight Axe. It's a very common build at the moment. I have seen some Svens not go for the Axe, but most of the time we see this build. It just makes you into the Superman. I've been on the receiving end of this Sven with Axe so many times in my recent games. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm salty. There's just salt through my veins.
Well, maybe we can focus on how to defeat it. We said the evil geniuses, they did mass blink daggers, which I think is that was like part of the reason I liked 5 men's lineup, is I feel like that's Navi's win condition right here. The BKB, Aghanim Scepter, and Sven. Of course, you can scale a little bit later, but against this Medusa, I feel like that is the time that I'm strongest comparatively to this team, with all this team fighting the Medusa lineup. So I want to try and run them over. The sad part is you can't get Puck. Tiny already has a blink dagger. Zibe has supernova and options to be able to work with, and you've got the swap from Pylai Die as well as Stone Gaze to be able to like disengage off of those things.
If you really want to overkill it, eventually you can even get a Lotus Orb, which stuns him in back if he doesn't have that BKB. So you have options, and you also have an Aegis now, an Ace.
Wow, they just snuck it in so quickly. This armor, that's the power of the Medusa right there. When you have an amplifier, and that's what the Vengeful Spirit offers you. Amps up the damage. So I think that Crystallize here, thinking the rest of his team is going to be here fast enough. Crystallize turning around trying to kill Pylai Die, and he's got Pasha next to him, but eventually the rest of 5 men will rally and force Navi to retreat.
Yeah, Puck wasn't there. Does he have... Well, he does have a tier 1 on top lane that he can TP to, but he also has travels, so he could have joined at any given point. You did force the whole majority of Navi towards this top lane now. Top lane where you want to fight. And you also have Aegis, so you're in a really good spot. Navi now have to decide, do we fight here or do we just run away from this tower, waste our time running towards mid and bottom?
And while you're making that decision, the Puck's pushing, getting a lot of extra farm while you're on Navi's side is just kind of stalled out. And he will still be able to, as you said, join the team fight, especially if they have Glyph. They don't, but
yeah, it looks like 5 men also decided to back off a little bit.
You can chill for now. Smoke up from Navi. It's their turn to see if they can get aggressive, see if they can find 5 men out of position anywhere. They're going to go up into the triangle, run into the Medusa. Now Ace tries to get off, and he does. Stone Gaze goes down as the Storm Hammer hits him, and Chessie is going to try and make his initiation. Coil only onto 1. Meanwhile, Young G goes straight for the backline of the Vengeful Spirit, takes him out. Misery makes his entrance known as he tries to go for the kill on Ilias, but fails to do so. Missed out kill on the 5 position means Ilias may still be able to bail out Crystallize here. Needs it last second. He gets it. The Supernova goes down. They're going to quickly focus it, but it looks like Crystallize is taking so much damage. He's definitely going to pop here, so it's up to the Storm Spirit to get out. And a Yule Scepter stops him. He's got no mana to work with. He'll turn around and maybe try and kill Chessie here, but otherwise he's just getting guided around and eventually killed.
That Vengeful Spirit, man, like so many times I see it get kills, like you just ignore it a little bit. You don't, like you see it, and you don't really, your brain doesn't compute. You don't expect that damage coming from the illusion that Vengeful leaves upon death. But a really good fight. 5 men. That egg came in clutch, forcing Sven to continue hitting it. Meanwhile, Ace just does what Ace loves to do. It's stand and hit. Use one spell, literally, throughout the whole fight, and just stand in place.
Yeah. Now he's got the level 20 Stone Gaze duration, which I find is it doesn't sound like a ton, but it is actually so much more. You could potentially double Stone Gaze people if they from the very start stare into it and then stare into it again. It just means more free time that you're running away. And with Medusa, one of the biggest buffs of Medusa a few patches back was that all that extra movement speed you got, right?
Yeah. When you think about these talents that add seconds on spell, stop thinking about the whole game and start thinking about a team fight, right? How long does a team fight usually last? And then suddenly, when you put it in perspective, it looks much better, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe you do some like, okay, what is Deuce's DPS at that point in time? What is 2 seconds of her, extra time swinging on people? What does that equate to?
It's usually a kill, right? It's usually that one extra point of damage that you need to take someone down. Aghanim's also completed on Puck, but on Crystallize too. The Sven's got it.
Here we go. I think this is the peak. This is where Navi needs to be able to break 5 men down, defeat this 8,000 net worth lead, start taking down some of these towers. They've got the level 20 talent, the minus Stormhammer cooldown. They've got this Aghanim Scepter. This is everything they have. They need to be able to win this fight. But Zibe's already made his entrance with the Supernova, and they can't actually try and stop it because of the Stone Gaze. They're stuck in the coil. They can't run away. They're stuck in the Stone Gaze. They can't kill the egg. It's a triple threat, Lizard, and the triple threat, they'll quickly lose the team fight too, and it looks like they're going to be losing everybody here. They're all going to get caught. He tries to go for the kill on Tiny, does manage to get him with the Stormhammer, but Crystallize, he's going to be chased down to the ends of the earth. All he can really do is look for opportunities, I think, to try and get a kill. Silenced up, hoping for a Stormhammer stun, quickly dodged. Is the rest of his team coming in? They're here soon. The base finally here, and that should do it. All they need is a little bit of Supernova action. Nice little cheeky play there, trying to catch Chessie by stunning onto the vent. Spirit Illusion. Ace, meanwhile, is just running down mid.
It was a nice attempt, but Ace, he has his eyes on the prize. He's just going for objectives. And what a perfect execution from 5 men. You saw Ace, he's steeping in, and it looks kind of bad because he's steeping in right next to Sven and he's under vision.
They're trying to catch Ace. They know it's like a good timing to go on him. He just lost his Aegis. He's a bit separated right now, but can they do it without their hero? Oh no, the coil came back up, and now the Storm Spirit Stassi just died. And Navi, I think they're done for, Lizard. That looks like the move of desperation leading into frustration.
They call it.
That is exactly what it is. GG is called.
Game
Navi's
over.
Done with this.
The triple threat of 5 men. When you said it sounded like WWE or something for me. The triple threat. Smackdown.
They were indeed smacked down pretty hard.